Hi friends, I'm Erin and this is Erin Go Live. Welcome back to my channel. I have kind of a fun project that I'm going to be embarking on. So when I first started my channel, it might have even been my first video, my idea was to read through the PBS Great American Read. This happened, I think, in 2018. It was really fun to to watch along with it. They did multiple episodes that they would go through them. People had voted on them, and it was basically Americans' favorite top 100 books, going from 100 to 1, number 1 being To Kill a Mockingbird. At the time of that came out, I think I had read 34, and at this time I think I've read 55 of those, so more than half of the top 100 books I've already read. Some of them are series, so if I've read the first in the series, at least I'm counting it. For example, I've read book 1 of Outlander, book 1 of Game of Thrones, but I haven't read the entire series, but I'm calling that good. Then The Atlantic just released the Great American novels. So first what I'm going to show you is, for video 1, I'm just going to show you what I have left to read in the PBS Great American Read. The next installment of this, I will be talking about the reads from The Atlantic. So what I did for The Atlantic books is I subtracted the books that I've already read, of course, and then I went through and I just pulled out the women, the BIPOC authors, and the LGBTQI plus authors, at least from what I could ascertain. I think I only have one straight white guy on there because it was a book that I want to read. And yeah, this is going to be a long project. So this was my initial idea for when I first started my channel, and I just kind of let it go. But then also kind of inspired by Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot and Britta Bowler at The Second Shelf, because they have their own projects going on. Mine is a much smaller scale version than theirs, and I'm not even sure actually the number that I pulled from the Atlantic article, but I'm really excited to read these books, particularly the books from the Atlantic. It's a lot of books I've never heard of, and it goes kind of by decade, and there's a lot of really cool sounding books on there. So stay tuned for the next version of, or the next installment of this video where I'll tell you the Atlantic books. But for now, I'm gonna get into the books from the Great American Read. I own a lot of these books already, and then I'll put pictures up for the books that I don't already own. These are pretty much going in the order of where they fall on the list, starting with the earliest books. Book 1 is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I had started this at one point and then just kind of lost my steam on it, but definitely a book that I would love to read. And also, I really, really love this cover. Then we have Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. Again, another one that I started reading this during whatever like the Western Readathon was last year. I'm not sure, I got distracted, whatever. I didn't do a ton. I was not very good at reading last year, and just very sidetracked by other things. And so maybe I'll do this for the, whatever that Western Readathon is called this year. Another tome or mammoth here, 3 in a row. We have Stephen King's The Stand. I just know that this is, I think it's like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing, very like dark and gritty. But also, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about it. Then we have A Prayer for Owen Meany by A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. That's where the ing comes in. This is one that I would pick up right now. I could pick up right now. I've just been feeling, I don't know, pulled towards John Irving. There's one book I read by him, and I can't remember what it was. There was like a pirate and a girl. I can't remember. This is my friend's favorite author, so that's how I became kind of acquainted with him. And then we have a nice quick one, The Little Prince. Jack London's The Call of the Wild with a messed up cover. These, what are these? What classics? The Wordsworth classics. Not the best quality, but this is the edition that I have. And a very old copy. This is my dad's copy of The Clan of the Cave Bear by John M. How do you say that? Owl? Something like that. If you know how to pronounce that, let me know. Spell it phonetically for me. All right, then we have Joseph Heller's Catch-22. This was one of my late husband's favorite books. He read this, he was in high school when he read this. It's one I've actually been intimidated from reading for a really long time. Actually, I have another edition of that one somewhere. It was Sam's edition that he stole from the high school library, actually. And so that's probably one of the oldest books I own, one of the oldest unread books that I own. Then we have The Chunker War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I have another edition of this. This one has the French in footnotes, which is quite annoying, I think. Ooh, that is dusty. Need to dust these books. So I might end up reading a different edition than this one, but this one is just gorgeous. I have several of these Russian classics by Vintage. Then we have Herman Melville's Moby Dick, and this is a Vintage red spine edition. I really like this cover. Followed by Tales of the City by Armistead Maupin. Takes place in San Francisco, which is just 100 miles away from me. One that I'm not super excited about is Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Then we have Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. Bless Me Ultima by Rudolfo Anaya. I have no idea what this is about. And White Teeth by Zadie Smith. I just realized that whole last section was out of order with this section, but it doesn't really matter. Next up, another huge chunker. We have The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I had to look at it. I knew it, but I had to look it up. That guy is thick. But again, this is one that I've never heard anyone who've read it say anything negative about it. One I'm really excited about, a movie that I really love, haven't seen in forever, is Arthur Golden's Memoirs of a Geisha. Another one, for some reason, I'm always been intimidated by. We have A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. And then another thick boy, Eye of the World by Robert Jordan, and I really like this cover. Another Russian classic, Fyodor Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. And finally, Don Quixote's Miguel... I said that backwards. Miguel Cervantes' Don Quixote. Okay, I just realized that I only told you the books of the ones that I own, so now I'm going to go through, I'll put up the pictures here for the books that I don't own but are on the list. The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. Am I saying that right? Let me know. Foundations by Isaac Asimov. Oh, one I forgot that I actually do have a copy of, but I'll put the picture of because I didn't grab it. Nora Zeal Hurston's Their Eyes Were Watching God. Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. The Godfather by Mario Puzo. 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I actually do have a copy of that as well. One I'm not interested in at all is The Shack by Wim Paul Young. The Hunt for Red October by Tom Clancy. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. I don't think I've read any Hemingway. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Watchers by Dean Koontz. The Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. I do have like a really old copy of that and I can't find it. I, Alex Cross by James Patterson. Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. The Sirens of Titans by Kurt Vonnegut. I actually might have a copy of that. I have a handful of Kurt Vonnegut's. He was one of my late husband's favorite authors. This Present Darkness by Frank Peretti. I had a Professor Peretti. Dr. Peretti. Swan Song by Robert McCammon. Mind Invaders by Dave Hunt. The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Souljah. The Intuitionist by Colson Whitehead. Pretty sure I actually have a copy of that as well. And Doña Barbara by Romulo Gallegos. So I have a spreadsheet that I'll be using to keep track of those, if I've read them or not, and then also my star rating. I do reserve the right to DNF a book because, life is short, so don't read what you don't like. So I'd love to know, any of your favorites are in here, any strong opinions on any of these, or if you would like to buddy read any of these, let me know and we can get that set up. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, no matter what.